Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. I am so excited to get into this live. I've been looking forward to this all week. Let me know how the volume is. Let me know if the music's too loud. All this time, I wasn't realizing we weren't catching the vibes. The music was far too low. So I did a little bit of a switch up. I have my Spotify playing through an OBS stream that I have all set up. So let me know if the music is a little loud, because it's a little loud in my ear. And I don't want it to be annoying. I just want it to be gentle in the background. So let me know. I'm going to do a little test. Let me do a little test. You're going to hear an echo. Sorry. No, I think it's good. I'm hearing it on the TV. I'm hearing it on the TV, and it sounds pretty good. Okay, happy Monday. You guys, today's such a wonderful day because we hit our milestone of 250 subscribers. I'm so happy. I honestly just wanted to hit 250 subscribers prior to July for my own selfish reasons. It just feels monumental. It just feels like everything is moving as it should and everything's happening in divine timing. So thank you to each and every one of you who have subscribed to my channel. There is so much more to come. I think I'm finally getting a understanding of what I hope for the brand and what I hope to put out into the community and who I hope to be in this community. So thank you to everybody. But I'm not going to make this a long-winded intro. I just want to get into the modeling because I've been dreaming of this model. I'm also slightly intimidated, but we're going to do it because we always start a little nervous and then it always ends up being the best thing ever. So here's some of my references. So I have a bunch of rotary phones here, and sorry, just taking a sip of my mushroom coffee, Four Sigmatic mushroom coffee. It is the best. Lion's mane. Okay, so here we go. Let's get into it. So these are some rotary phones that I pulled from the internet, and I actually had chat make this cute little rotary phone for me. Not quite on brand, but pretty close. This is actually pretty close to my gumball machine aesthetic, so I really was digging on this one a lot. I just love the details. Like, we can really get into this. Like, we can really make this as extravagant and wild as we want. I love this. I think this is really cute and elegant and classy. And my grandma used to have one of these phones, so I think that's why I'm so drawn to it and so excited for it. But one of the things for sure, it has to have this little spinny thing. This is essential. It's critical. And if I'm remembering correctly, my grandma had one that was on the wall. I think hers was on the wall, but she might have had one of these as well. But it was so vintage and it was so cute. I loved it. And then I do like I like the simplicity of this one. I think that's really pretty as well. But I kind of just want to go big or go home. So I'm feeling like I'm going to stick to maybe these three here, and then maybe we'll implement a few details from the others. I just think this one is very unique. I don't necessarily want to model this because it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel nostalgic. I've never seen this in real life, but these here are very, very, very cute. Okay, so with that being said, I have to figure out what sort of base do I want. So that matters because I feel if we do like a cube-like base, then we can really get into the detail. We can really go for it. So I think I'm into this. I think I'm into this sort of a base. You know, I think I'm all in for this one. As I'm looking at it, I'm getting overwhelmed, but you just have to start from the bottom. There's a lot of curves going on here. There's a lot of this will be tricky. This that's gonna be. We could keep it simple and keep the base square and kind of get here. So I don't know. And I just love the aesthetic of this one. I thought this was really fun with little cigarettes. I thought that was really, I don't know. Anyway, I'm done deliberating. We're just going to, but then this is also really, really cute. I really think, okay, if I'm being truthful, the rotary phone is known for like the circle base, I think. So we can add really fun details on the circle base. So let's do this base. I like this. Let's just do that. I think that's a good idea. All right, let's get into it, my friends. All right. So I'm gonna be working over here. Let me make sure I have my screencast keys on. Again, if you jump in and the volume is way too high, let your girl know. I'm gonna test it one more time, sorry. Let's get into it, my friends. So I'm gonna be working over here. Let me make sure I have my screencast keys on. Again, if you jump in and the volume is way too high, interesting. I don't know, the music is very loud in my headphones, but it's not. Let me go into OBS real quick. It's pretty high up there. So I'm gonna rock out with this. I'm gonna kind of leave it at this. I don't wanna I don't wanna go too crazy. Okay. All right, let's do it. Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, so we are going to start with a basic cube. So I have my scene pre-done already, so that's gonna be exciting. I'm just gonna click off the plane so that we're not clicking it. All right, so let's do a cube. So I'm gonna shift a cube. Grab on the X. And this here is like my side view, so I can kind of see where everything is. In the grand scheme of it all, I'm going to take the headphones out because it is so loud. Oh my gosh. I can't believe how loud it is. I feel like I'm screaming over myself. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. I have to turn it down just a little. It is taking me out. Okay. Anyway. Let's get the bass done so we can get into this. All right, so I'm just gonna scale it down. I'm gonna grab on the Z here. All right, we gotta subdivide, so I'm gonna tab on out. I'm gonna tab into edit mode, and we're gonna add a subdivision surface. Let's go up to about, we'll do 2 for now. Let's add some geometry. So I'm gonna look from above. All right, so let me go ahead and scale you out a bit. Make you, well, you don't have to be so large because you don't. All right, let me give you a little help here. It's kind of squaring it out. I don't necessarily want to square it out. So before we do that, let's subdivide one more time. And then what I think I'm going to do, instead of manipulating it with the subdivision on, I'm going to apply the subdivision. Then I'm going to tab back into edit mode. And we just want this kind of like stretched situation. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to click O for proportional editing. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to scale this up way big. Maybe like that. And then I'm gonna grab on the Y. Nope. Yeah, it should be. Oh, wait. I'm gonna scale this up. Click. Let me grab on the Y. And then I'm gonna just give it like that little teardrop vibe. That's cute. And then I'm gonna grab these two. And then I'm gonna grab scale on the X. Pull it in just a little. No, we want the whole thing. Okay, there we go. So we just want to make it kind of maybe like that. That feels good. Look at us getting there. We're getting there. All right, and then next things next, let's add the little details. So we're going to go back into front view. We also have to thicken this up a bit, so let's thicken this up. Tab into edit mode, select all, scale on the Z. It's a phone we're talking about here. You know what I mean? All right, and then let's go into X-ray mode real quick. And I'm just gonna grab this piece right here, and then I'm gonna grab on the Z. Scale it down to about there because we want to give it a flat bottom. And I know there is a shortcut for it. If you know it, drop it in the live. There is a shortcut to make it flat. I think it's like control something 0 or other, but that would have been very useful right there. Anyway, we'll just use proportional editing. It's fine. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump out of X-ray mode and I'm going to hit 2. And we're going to get this tiny little detail in here. So that's kind of closer to the base. So we'll do probably about here. And again, this is like a rough idea. We're going to still kind of rock with what we know, what we like. This is our rotary phone. We get to do what we want. All right, I'm just going to put another loop cut there so that I can bevel. Or actually, let me go into face select mode. And I want to select this, and then I'm going to just extrude. I'm going to Alt-E. I'm going to Alt-E, extrude along the normals. We're going to go inward. There we go. That should do. Let's shade that smooth. What's that giving? Now, what we're gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to edge select, and I'm gonna select this edge and this edge. And I'm gonna Control B because it's way too sharp. And then I think I'm gonna have to go into settings and change it. I don't like when the bevel doesn't do what I want it to do. Maybe if we change it to percentage, it'll do what we want. Let's see. A lot of times I'll find, I'm gonna undo this really quickly because I can't have this, absolutely not. So before I do, let's see if I can bevel this really quick. Nope, we just want the edge. So, because, you know, sometimes that's not what we're looking for at all. I have another thing that I could do here. Let's see. So we're gonna go back to extruding along normals again. I need a bevel in there, you know what I mean? Ugh. Okay. I think about there. I'm tabbing out, and now I'm going to my bevel. Because I can't have it like this. This is... Can we do weight? Why aren't you listening to me? That's my biggest... Can we do... No, sorry, percentage? She doesn't want to work for me. Oh, you know what? Let me try that. This really bums me out when we run into these sorts of I'm gonna get there though, don't you worry. I'm just gonna see. It's not responding at all. It's not responding at all. So let me see. Nothing in there. So it would be sharp. Let me just put it back to what it was. Okay. Because that's awful. That's not what we're looking for at all. You know what I mean? That's not at all what we want. And if I have to redo this, I will. That's how I feel about that. Alright, so try a few more things. Because this has to be... I don't like that. I really don't. I really don't like that at all. It looks too, it doesn't look good. Given I know it has to go through an ugly phase in the beginning, but I'm not happy. And something's gotta give. So, like the top is fine. I'm getting rid of it. Something about it is just, I don't like it. Start over. Cube. Alright, we're gonna do this fast. Grab on the X. Grab on the Y. Because low key, I might bevel it just now. I really gotta do a lot more research into why. Oh my gosh. I have to do a lot more research. Into why bevel works sometimes. I mean, I've kind of been trying to get to the bottom of that, because I do find that once you start manipulating the geometry and adding extruding and things like that, it will kind of start messing up. Let's turn off proportional editing for 1 second. Also, once you add subdivide, it's like everything changes, so I just never know what I want to do with that also. Let's get the origin to geometry again. Alright, so we're going to try this again. But this time, I think I'm going to... Let me see. I'm going to subdivide and see what happens real quick. I'm going to subdivide and pre-bevel that little... I could also do a Boolean, but I don't want to get into Booleans right now. That's not where my head's at. So let's try this. We're gonna go back up to 2. And then I'm gonna apply it. Get out of edit mode. Let me apply. No, should we do 3? Did we do 3 last time? I'll do 3. Before I do all that, let me just get it to the size that I want. So I'm gonna scale on the Z. Let's bring this baby up. Let's get it chunky. We can do a chunky phone. That's cute. Alright, so this is kind of the size. I think that's good. I'm gonna tap out and I'm just gonna apply it. I'm applying now. I'm going to X-ray mode. I'm gonna go into top view actually. All right, and then let's go back into vertices. I'm gonna pick this one. proportional editing. Grab, let's pull it up. You want like a teardrop vibe. I'm just gonna grab it on the Y so that it's not off centered in that way. All right, that's about right. And then I'm gonna just select this middle and I'm gonna scale on the X. And then maybe I'll grab this a little bit more on the Y, really make it dramatic. Okay, tab out. I'm gonna go back to front view, tab again, and let me see if we hit this orthographic view. Orthographic view be throwing me off sometimes though, I'm not gonna lie to you. Let me just get out of here. All right, I'm going to grab her right here. I'm gonna grab on the Z, scale that up. Okay, beautiful. We're just gonna flatten our girl out. Is this giving circle? Can't really tell. Okay, that's good. I think that's good for now. Let me see. Select all, scale on the X. I think it's gotta be a little wider. Okay. I think that's solid. Amazing. And all right, now let's get this bevel under control because it just wasn't working for me before. Okay, so now where do we want this? We look at it here. You know what else could be throwing me off as well? The top is really bubbled. So let's go ahead and go into vertices mode here, and then I'm gonna grab this on the Z. All right, that's probably better. I like that. Okay, that's flatter and makes more sense, right? And I mean, I think what also could be happening is we gotta grab this on the Z. Because there could be a bit of like an elevation that we're not paying attention to. Yeah, it's like almost like a hill. Yes, you better believe it. You better believe it. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Okay, and then I'm gonna hit these two. And I'm gonna grab on the Z. And I'm gonna hit these two, and I'm gonna grab this on the Z. Let me get both sides. Beautiful. And then what I'll also do, I just think it takes a little time to like get in the groove, and I have to be okay with that, you know. I think sometimes it just takes a second to figure out what we're doing, but I think that is the basic shape. Okay, I think that looks really sweet, because then we'll put our little thing there. Oh, this is gonna be such a great little model. Okay, Now for the moment of truth here. So I'm going to go into here. I'm going to maybe put it down here. I'm going to loop cut down here. And then let me get out of loop cut. I'm going to Control B. I just don't know what to do at this point. Alright, I'm gonna Alt E. Put it in a good amount. And I'm gonna hit 2. Please work for me. It's not. Oh, I think we're getting it. But I think it's double. There's something making it weird. If you've noticed, like, the geometry is getting a little funky there. But it is beveled how I want it, so just have to figure out. It could be because the subdivide is not applied yet. So I'm gonna apply the subdivision. Did I apply? Oh, I already applied it. Oh my gosh. All right, so maybe we'll do the no, because I don't want all the faces. This is really throwing me off. I mean, it's okay. I don't love the topology. Oh, no. No, siree. Alright, let me see if I can just bevel it this way. God, I hope it... Okay, it's working this way. Once happens, once I shades. Oh, thank gosh. Thank gosh. Incredible. Wow. I really thought we were going to have to start all over. Let me save it. I was really getting disappointed. Did you feel my energy? But the thing is, you can't quit. You gotta just keep chipping away at it. Alright, so... Ooh, that's done. Now let's go into top... hello. Let's go into top view. And I'm going to add a cute little cylinder. Yeah, I'm done with this base really quickly. Or I'm done with this base for now. I also want to turn on my orientation to local. I'm gonna just make my cube. I'm sorry, my cylinder. Is this, oh my gosh, no thank you. Let me just go global with this real quick. And also let me just put it on the flat side, and then I'll deal with moving it a little bit later. Are we there? Okay, we're there. That's a little crooked. I'm not gonna deal with that. So let me just do it. This is the live of trial and error, I'll tell you what. All the lives though, honestly, it never just, I think the daisy perfume that I did was the one that kind of went off with no problems. Everything happened exactly how it was supposed to. The mesh didn't give me any issues. I think that's the only time I've gone live and it wasn't just mayhem. But that's what I find modeling is all about. It's just like, you just gotta practice and get things done. By the way, I don't know if you all saw, but I finished the slot machine animation and everything. Such a fun live. And it is up, so I have a reel of it. I have the full live that you can check out here on the page. And yeah, it was just like one of the most fun lives that I've done. And I just am really into this vintage aesthetic. I think it is just so fun to model, because back in the day, I just feel so sorry, I had to clear my throat. But I just feel like back in the day, there was just so much more pride put into the creation of objects like these. Like, they were just so beautiful and so colorful and had embroidery and engraving and inscription, I don't know. But there was just so much fine detail put into these vintage objects that I was just like really, really drawn to making them in Blender and just seeing if we could honestly make it come to life, and it's been a fun challenge this month to do these vintage pieces, because not only when I look at them do I feel so challenged and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this, but I always end up getting it done. So I just get really excited when it's time to do these. I really do. So I hope that you find some level of enjoyment, or hope you can pull something from it. Of course, all feedback is welcomed, as long as it is gentle. You talk to me nice. Just because, the world can be so brutal, and I just think it is so important for us to be able to communicate with one another. And you can, communicate with each other and give constructive feedback without being mean. I think that's really important, in life. You can absolutely support people in their growth and, communicate ways in which things could be better, without... I've done something to my bevel and it's really not making me happy. And I need to figure out what I've done, because I've ruined it. Because what is that? You know, that's awful. And this is just a regular cylinder. Any other time, it would never be this problematic. I think we gotta go back to sharp. Let's try that again. Okay, there we go. It was the arc that was killing it. But I don't know why it's taking the in-betweens. Oh, was it This is really strange. This is really strange for me. Because it's like all of a sudden... But you know what the cylinder does at times? Let me see. Okay, I think I had two. Yeah, okay. All right, that's better. We're back. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go into isolation mode for this one. Then I'm gonna select this face and I'm gonna get rid of it. And then we're gonna come out. And that's that little piece right there. Okay. I think that's fine for now. I'm gonna select all, scale on the Z. Grab on the Z. It's a little bit better. Okay. That's good. And this, I'm going to tab into edit mode, and I'm going to E on the Z just so we have this is going to be the little gold piece right here. So we'll just do it like that, and then I'm going to control bevel ever so slightly, maybe like that many mouse scrolls, and we'll leave it like that. And then what I'll do here is add the gold. So that'll be a separate vertex group. I'm gonna control save. This is such a sweet little... All right, before we keep going, I want to look at the other phones and see how else we can make this real interesting. So we can go this route now. Like, this is giving, but this is really giving. Like, this is some next level. So we'll keep the base like the other one, and then I'll do, maybe we'll start here. So we'll add this and this and this. I think that'll be really fun. I want it. I want to do it. All right, so then I'm going to shift D and just make this a whole other piece. Grab on the Z. P, selection, tab out, grab the selection, tab into edit mode, select all, E on the Z, bring it down, select all, scale, kind of like that, undo, grab on the Z, because we want there to be a little bit of a gap, so it can kind of like there's maybe a piece holding it, but we want there to be a bit of space there. Going into that face, I'm going to just control B, tiniest of bevels, come on out. Okay. And then what I think we're going to do is I'm going to tab in here. I'm going to select this face, Shift S, cursor to selected, tab out, right click. Origin to 3D cursor, Shift A, mesh, add a UV sphere, tab into edit mode, scale that down, grab on the Z, and I want to scale this up so that it fits right there perfectly. Scale it down just a little bit. that's gonna add a little fun dimension there. Shift A, I'm gonna add a cube, tab into edit mode, I'm gonna scale it down, grab on the Z, pull it up. I'm gonna scale on the Z. Looking at it from the side over here, let's just make sure we're in a good position. Beautiful. Then I think I'm gonna go into X-ray mode. I'm gonna hit 2, and I'm just gonna grab these 2 edges. And then I wanna scale on the X for both. Give it kind of a bell shape. And then I'm gonna grab on the Z. It's kind of just gonna like hover. I'm gonna add a few loop cuts, so one here, tab out, Z into solid, but we want to jump out of X-ray. I'm gonna add a solidify modifier, or I'm sorry, subdivision. We're gonna go up to 3, it gives it like a nice little bell shape. I'm gonna tab back into edit mode, grab where we need to. Maybe we'll leave the top one open, hit 3. Just want to get these top faces up here. So let's scale that down, kind of like that. Then we'll do just these. We go into wireframe. I don't want to wireframe, it's too much geometry going on. All right, I'm just gonna get these bottom faces. And I'm gonna scale on the X. Yes, adorable. Tab out, beautiful. This is just like a fun little unique shape. Then we tab back into edit mode. I'm gonna select all, scale on the Y. And I'm gonna grab and pull it down. Just pull it back just a little. Oh no. I think where we are is good. It's just my angle that's kind of weird. But let's tab out. I'm gonna go back to forward facing mode. I think that's fun. Let's shade smooth everything. Okay, and then we want this little fun piece. So if anything, it just looks like a cube that's slightly deformed. So I'm gonna shift A again. We're kind of in a good position. Tab, scale this all the way down. I'm gonna grab on the Z, scale it down again, grab on the Z. Just gonna have it sitting right here, scale on the Z, something like that. Then I'm gonna tab, stay in edit mode. I'm just gonna grab these edges. Right here. And then I'm gonna scale on the X. Alt, S, X. Alt. Alt, S. What's going on here? I think we might have to do one at a time. So let me scale that just a little. And I'm going to Control B. And I'm going to do the same down here. Scale on the X. All of them selected. I just want these two selected. Scale on the X. Or do we want to scale it out? No, we'll scale in. And I'm going to control B. I think the beauty in these pieces comes where all the fun geometry comes in, you know? It's like, that's what makes all of these pieces so unique. And I want to just keep with that aesthetic. So I'm kind of just going with the flow and the vibes of what I'm feeling. But all in all, I think these are so cute. So now I'm just gonna add a cylinder. And we can move it, of course. I'm just gonna add a little detail. I'm gonna tab into edit mode, grab the face, and grab it on the Y and pull it in a bit. And I'm gonna control B. And then I'm gonna hit 3. I'm gonna shift D, grab on the Y, and I'm gonna P selection, tab out, grab that selection again. And then I'm going to E on the shore. Beautiful. Click here. I'm going to control B again. Make that a little bit more of a dome vibe. And then I'm going to select all. I'm going to scale it. No, I think I want to kind of leave it like that. That's good. And I'm gonna tab in here again. I'm gonna shift S, cursor to selected. Tab out, shift A, and I'm gonna add a UV sphere. Tab into edit mode, and I'm gonna scale down, just like we did. Scale down again. And then I'm going to grab on the Y and get that little detail in there. I think that's good. That gives a fun vibe. Let's get some more. I can just duplicate these cylinders, I think. So I'm gonna shift D, the cylinder. Let's grab it on the X. And then I wanna rotate on the Z 90 degrees. And let me grab on the Y. Let's get it right in the center. And then let's go ahead and grab on the X, pull it back until it intersects. And because we beveled a little bit, I'm going to tab in, select all, and then I'm going to scale it down so that it fits right there. This is my side view. Ugh, this is crooked. Wow. That is insane. What can I do about that? I'm gonna have to use proportional editing. Let me grab on the Y. Can't believe this. Let's get that. Oh no. We gotta pull that over. Yeah, wow. All right. That is so insane. Okay. Oh no, it's all crooked. Is this crooked? It's because I used... Why? It's so slanted. I cannot believe this. How could this be? Oh no. We gotta fix that. Absolutely not. Wow, now everything has to be moved. Unbelievable. Okay. Wow. The whole thing would have been all wrong. Okay. I think that's better. All right, so let me move all these pieces a little bit forward now. All right. Just doing a volume check. I think we're good. We're good on the volume front. All right, now back to where we were. That is so funny. All right, so that's where it needs to be. And also I'm gonna tab into edit mode actually. I'm gonna select all and I'm gonna scale on the X. And let's just pull it out some. That kind of works. So we'll do like that. We tab out. I'm kind of just going with it, and then I'm going to add a modifier, mirror. I'm gonna mirror here. All right, and then I'm thinking I should add another little piece, right? Because what are we looking at? No, that's good. And then I'm gonna add a cylinder here. Yeah, we'll do a cylinder. So let me get up out of here. Okay, so actually I'm gonna Shift S, cursor to selected, tab out, Shift A. We're gonna do a cylinder, tab inside of mode, scale her way down. So can get out of proportional editing for a second. Let's rotate on the X90. No, rotate on the Y90. And scale it. And we'll do to about there. Yeah, we'll do to about there. And then let me just grab this face. Grab on the X, pull it out. Let me look at it from the front view, see how far out it's coming. Okay, yeah, that works. Beautiful. Tab out. And I'm going to Shift D, grab on the X, grab on the Y, grab on the X again, grab on the Y. Let me look here. Amazing. Grab on the Y, grab on the X again. And we just want it just sitting like that. Right? Yes. What I'll do here, we can face select. And I'm gonna Control B, give it a little bit of a bevel. That way it's making more sense. Perfect. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So I'm gonna mirror. Now the mirror, modifier comes into play. So we're gonna do that. Same here, mirror it. Here. So there's that. And then I'm gonna shift D, grab on the X. So we're gonna do another one like that, but the difference with this one, I'm gonna tab into edit mode, select all, and I'm gonna scale it down so it's gonna be a little bit skinnier. And let me grab on the Y because it's a little off-centered. Okay, and then we'll grab on the X and pull it in. And then we can grab a little on the Y to get it more centered. Okay, and then I'm gonna tab out, shift D, grab on the X, tab into edit mode, and I'm gonna scale this one down as well, make it just a little smaller. Grab on the X, get that there. Look at us coming along, look at this, I love this. We got a little rotary phone happening. I love it, it's so good. We can add more details too, but so far so good. So now I'm just trying to check whatever this shape is. It's a bit of like a triangle. So I'm going to use the cylinder again, shift D, grab on the X. I want to rotate on the Y 90, grab on the Z, pull it down, and grab on the X again. I'm gonna tab into edit mode and I'm gonna scale her all the way. Grab on the Z. And we'll keep the width about the same. We'll just change the... Okay, I think that's pretty good. And then I'm gonna tab out. And let's just do like a funny little shape. So actually let me tab here. I'm gonna click this face, shift S, cursor to selective. This is just really helping, using the cursor to selected. So when you add geometry, it just goes right where you need it to go is my everything. I love it. So I'm just gonna scale it down a ton. Let me scale this down some more. Grab it on the Z. And then what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna go into edge select. I'm gonna select this edge and this edge. I'm gonna click merge at center. So it'll give it like this little situation. Seems good enough to me. Then I'll select this face up here and I'm gonna control B. Let's give it a little bevel. We can go deep with it. We'll go deep with the bevel. Like that. I think that's really fun. And then we will mirror that. Just like that. Amazing. I think that looks really good. I'm really proud of it. And then we'll do one more cylinder. So let me shift D. Grab on the Z. We'll do one more cylinder at the very tippy toppy. And here's what we'll do. I think we'll make it look even better. So I'm gonna E on the Z up to here and I'm gonna scale it down so that it literally hugs that. And then let's see what happens if we bevel this. Yeah, we'll just bevel it just a bit. Lost the bevel. There we go. Beautiful. And then lastly, I'm gonna shift D one more time. Grab on the Z. Tab into edit mode and I'm gonna scale her down. And then grab on the Z. And then over here, we can see it's a little off center. So I'm just gonna do that. See how that looks. Let me grab it on the X just a little. to look good. Okay. Yes. So I think that's the little detail here, which is fun. So we kind of kept with this base, this simple base, but we can add some more. I think we can add some more details and things like that, but I like this simple base. Then we have the neck portion like this, and then instead of just doing a simple shape like that, we wanted to amp it up here. Let's see if there's anything we can grab from this baby. Maybe we'll add the detail like this one. This is really pretty. And up here, maybe we'll focus on that one, or even that's really pretty also. But anyway, I'm digging this one, so let's stay here. So I'm gonna add our little curve situation. So let's get to that first. So that's gonna connect to this. So I'm gonna tab into edit mode again, Shift S, cursor to selected. I'm gonna tab out, Shift A, and this time I'm gonna add a curve. And let me rotate on the X -90. And then I want to rotate on the Y maybe 90. -90. -90. And then I'm going to scale it down. Alright, and then let me tab into edit mode. And I'm gonna select all, and then I'm gonna subdivide it one time. And you know what? Let me grab on the X and pull it out. And length, let's get this camera out of here for a second. Alright, I'm gonna grab you on the X. I'm gonna rotate. Grab on the Z, grab on the X. So essentially we want it here. I'm gonna add a subdivision here. Didn't mean to do that. Let's grab on the Z. Let's pull it down. Gonna add another subdivision. We're just gonna play with the shape. Let's rotate. Grab, pull it out like that. I'm gonna rotate like that. Grab. So intense. Okay. And then these two I can grab it on the X. And let me see. Let's pull you over, try to get you straight. Grab on the X. Let me grab you on the X also. Okay, how's that for a shape? I'll grab this on the Z, pull it down a bit. Something about this one is not sitting right with me. I think also this needs to be rotated a little bit more. Maybe that's a bit much. Maybe something like that. And then let's just look at the depth. So we're gonna just add the depth and really try to get a visual. How thick do we want it? That feels like a good thickness. How's that? Or do we want it a little thicker? Let me look at the side view. I think maybe we could go, let's see. Let's go like 7. How's that look on the ball? Curves are my best friend. Let me tab into edit mode. Let me rotate you just a bit. I think 7 might be too much. Let's drop down to 6. I think 6 is the perfect little size. Jumping out of orthographic mode. Fabulous. Okay. So let me mirror and see how that looks. So I'm going to select you. And let's mirror. Again, like that. Oh, we have a bit of a rotary phone happening here. This is absolutely fabulous. So excited for this. And we are an hour and 11 minutes into this stream, my friends. How's everybody feeling? How we doing? I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break and I'll be right back, my friends. All right, let's get back into it, my friends. I'm sorry if you heard all that noise. I had to take a bathroom break and warm up my coffee and get some water. I needed some water. All right. Let's get back into it. I'm really digging how this looks so far. Feeling good. We're an hour and 15 minutes in. Uh-oh. Okay, I hope my streaming's going okay. Okay. All right, let's get into the details of this. So I'm gonna shift A. I'm gonna add a cylinder. Let me tab into edit mode, scalar down, scalar daddy, grab on the X. Let's just get some detail in here. I'm gonna scale on the Z. Let's get into our side view, make sure everything looks okay. I'm gonna scale it down even more. I'm gonna grab on the X, try to get it right there. And then I'm just gonna select the two faces in the cylinder. And I'm gonna Control B. Give it a nice little bevel. Ooh, I like the deep bevel. Let's rock with that. Cute. Shade smooth. I kind of want multiple, so I'm gonna Shift D. Grab on the Z. I'm kind of into it. Shift D. I want 3. Just feels like the right thing to do. Beautiful. I could have just array modified it, but we're here now. So let me add a mirror modifier. Object being this guy right here. Let's do another mirror modifier. And I suppose I could just copy the mirror modifier, but also it's fine. Okay, so it's some detail to put here. And then I think this is another ball, another cylinder. So I'm gonna Shift D, grab on the X. Let's try to get it right there. Grab on the Z. And this will just be our marker for where we need to pull this over. We gotta pull that over because it's a little curved. So let's jump back into our Bezier curve. And I'm gonna grab on the X and just get it right in the right place. Let's go on our side view, see how we're looking. That looks pretty good. Tab out, and then I'm gonna grab slightly on the X here, maybe like that. Right, that's cute. Let's get all these shades smooth. I love it. I love it so much. I think that looks really good. I'm really happy. And I haven't converted the Bezier mesh to, the Bezier curve to a mesh just yet because I might change the thickness. I'm just kind of getting in our general the rough part of this model. Trying to think, we could move on to this part, or we can get into the rotary phone part of it, this part of it. So I think what should we get into? Let me look at this here. I think let's get into this because this is really gonna, let's just keep going upward. All right, so we have that. Now let me try to zoom in and see what's happening. So we're gonna need a cylinder, that's for sure. So let me tab into edit mode, Shift S, cursor to selected, tab out, Shift A. I'm gonna have to use a cylinder. Tap into edit mode. I'm going to scale her down. Rotate on the Y 90 degrees. And I'm going to scale it down. Let me get it here. I'm just going to put placeholders for now because I really don't know what's happening right now. All right, there's a lot going on, so we're gonna have to just kind of wing it with how we want this to be. But maybe before we hit the detail, we can start from the middle. So let's start from the middle up. So I'm gonna tab out. I can mirror this one for now, just so we can. I'm just gonna mirror like that. And then we're going to start from the middle up because I think that'll just really help. Origin to geometry. I'm going to tab into edit mode. I'm going to select this top face. Shift S. Boom. Do that. Tab out. Shift A. We're going to do another cylinder. Tab into edit mode. Rotate on the Y 90. Let's scale it down a bunch. And then let me grab it on the Z. Again, scale it down a bunch till maybe about here. Scale on the X. Scale on the X. There's not that much space, so all right, I think that's a good stopping point, right? Let me scale on the X just a little bit more. And then I'm gonna just select these faces. Oh, it's really windy out today. What's the weather like where you all are? Okay. I'm gonna bevel her. I wanna bevel her a good amount. She's really not too much. Still needs to be flatness, but maybe something like that. And then what I'm gonna do also, I'm gonna select this and select this. Just kidding, select, if I can do it. Then I'm gonna Shift D, separate by selection, tab out, make select, tab, select all, scale it a bunch. Let me tab out, origin to geometry, tab, and then I'm gonna Alt S. This is me adding detail. So, oh, let me look on my side view. Just want to add a little bit. Not that much. Maybe like that. And then, could be a little bit more, right? Just a little more. And then I'm gonna Alt-E, long normals, and just bring it inward like that. I think that's really pretty. Let me tab out and see if I want to bevel. I don't think I want to bevel. I think I want to leave it just like that. And then we need to, let's see. I'm going to make this a piece also. So let me tab in. We're in face select. I'm going to select that and this. think just these two. And then I'm also going to select this and this. And then I'm going to Shift D that. P, selection, tab out. I'm going to go back into that. Select all. I'm going to Alt S. And let's see what we want to do here. I don't know if I want it bigger or how I want to get down. No, it's kind of just sitting in, so I'm going to just make it slightly bigger. And then I'm going to Alt E. So we're going to extrude along the normals for everything. And I'm going to just come out a little bit bigger than my little design right there. Little detail. I think that's good. And that's going to be this silver portion here. And then this is going to be covered up with whatever that is. I'm going to leave this sharp. I'm not going to bevel it or anything. But I just want some tiny little detail. And then if anything, let's grab this on the X. Tab, I'm going to select all. I want to bring it in on the normal, towards the center. So I'm going to Alt S. Ooh. Okay, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's the vibes. That feels like too much though. Let's see. Is that a little bit bigger now? At this point, I'm kind of obsessing. Okay, we're gonna leave it here. That's too big. It's way too big. I think it's way too big. I just want it like one more click. Okay, maybe like that. I have to leave it. All right, so I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna pull it in. Do I want to pull it in? Maybe I don't want to pull it in. We're gonna leave it. I'm doing too much at this point. Okay. So that's a little bit of a detail. And then I need to do whatever this little situation is. So I'm going to tab into edit mode, grab this face, Shift S, cursor to selective, tab out, Shift A. We're going to do a cube, tab, and scale. It's kind of like the start of every. Also, though, hold on. Let me see something. I'm gonna tab out because we might be making this harder than we need to. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna Shift D. We have a lot of pieces in this one, but we can merge what we need to merge. I just think it's easier for me to do pieces versus. Cylinder 14. cylinder 16, 17. Okay, so let's tab in, select all. I'm gonna grab this on the Z. No, let me leave it there. I'm gonna E on the X. Yes, we're just gonna leave it like that. I think that's the best course of action here because it fits perfectly. And I'm gonna just come out, and then I'm just gonna scale this down so it'll give it that look. And that's just much better. So let me grab on the X and make it just a little longer. And that's gonna be perfect. And then I'll try to not add any more pieces. So this is about up to here. So I can pull this out a lot more. But we can also add a few more pieces. So let me scale her down just a little bit more. I'm gonna grab on the X. I think I wanna control bevel. Just kidding. We just wanna grab the edge piece, so that's why that was kind of weird. Control B. Do a few less loops, maybe like that. Okay. And now I'm just gonna kind of wing it. I'm gonna just wing it to get to this piece here. So I'm going to go into my Y view. E, and we'll stay here. Okay. So we'll go to about here. And we want to like hug this. So let me tab out. Select all of this and then grab it on the Z and get it aligned. So let's see where we're at with this. Crooked again, because that's really gonna throw me off. Okay. I'm gonna tab into edit mode. I'm gonna select this face as well as this face. Shift D. P, new selection. We're gonna select this. Tab into edit mode, select all, scale it up. And this is gonna be what kind of hugs this. Alt E along normals. Something like that. Okay. We want something like that. And I'm going to tab into edit mode. I'm going to control B this just a little. We'll just do that. I'm going to grab this, E on the X. Let's just make sure it's on the global X. Now I want to scale it to about there. Everything is really not aligned, and it's really gonna drive me nuts. Let me see. Maybe I need to move this entire thing back just a little. But before we do that, see, let me go to top-down view and see what it's giving. How's that? Yeah, I think I need to move this whole thing back a little bit. So let me go into top-down view, and I'm gonna grab on the Y, and let me try to get you better aligned. How's that? I think that's better. All right, and let me mirror this to this. Okay, let me save it. Oh wow, we're getting there. We're getting a bit of a phone. I'm excited to shade everything. That's gonna be really fun. Okay, I think besides the clipping, I can also scale this down so that it's a little less clippy. Okay. Yeah, so it's just kind of resting right on top. I think that works. I like it. I think it's pretty. Okay, now we're gonna work on this part, but let's again look at our references. We have to have this. This is so beautiful. So fun. Maybe we'll rock with this phone style. So let's rock out with this. We'll do this style. So let's work on this here. Oh, I like that detail. That's actually really pretty. Can we do that? I'm gonna add a loop cut like that. And then, yes, that's exactly what we want. That gives. That's really pretty. Beautiful. Okay, and then let's get this cylinder going. So we'll just do tab into edit mode. Just kidding. Select face mode, do this, Control S. You know what? I'm gonna Shift D, P selection, 19, tab out. Let's do 19, tab into edit mode again, select all. Let me scale it down. And then grab on the X, a little something like that, and then E on the X. And that's our phone. far out do we need it? Yeah, that's about good. That's about good. Let me select all. And I'm gonna scale it down just a little bit more. Kind of like that. I'm also gonna inset here. Just a little something like that. And then maybe I do want a tiny little bevel. I don't know. I'm feeling like it needs it. Feeling like the tiniest of bevels. Right? Maybe like that. Yeah, I think I like that better. Just gives it a little more. And then I can tab in 3, and I guess I'll get rid of this face. I did too. Okay, we're good. Now let me take that and grab that and pull it in like that. Let me scale it just a bit. Let me get origin to geometry so that I can scale it appropriately. You just don't want any clipping. But I can't tell. Let's see. Okay. Let me go in X-ray mode. How about that? So first let me grab on the X, get you in there. Okay, great. Beautiful. Let's tab out. All right, I'm liking that so much better. And then, is that okay? Okay, no clipping. Let's mirror this. Oh, we already have it mirrored. Great. All right, now we can focus on this little guy. So this is, it looks almost like a subdivided cube, honestly. Could just do that. So let's do that. And then we'll just kind of play with the proportions. So same thing, I'm gonna go into face, Shift S, cursor to selected, tab out, Shift A, I'm gonna do a cube, tab into edit mode, I'm gonna scale down a bunch. And before I do any subdivisions, I'm just gonna add 2 loop cuts so that it maintains some sort of a form. I'm gonna go to 2. I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna select all, grab on the X, pull that to about here, and then I want to scale the whole thing, grab on the X like that. Cute. And then I'm gonna go into face select. I'm just gonna grab the top faces, and let's scale on the X. Give it that cute little bell curve shape. I'm gonna select all, and I'm gonna scale on the Z. I'm just gonna scale it all together, actually. And the bell goes right to about there, so. Like that. I think that's cute. Okay, and then we'll shift, or we'll shade smooth. And then I'm gonna mirror this as well. Mirroring it just is really helping me feel like we're getting somewhere. I'm not gonna lie. It's really helping with morale. It's really helping with morale right now. Okay, let me take a sip of coffee. Grab my energy back, you know what I mean? Hope everybody's doing well. Hope the weather is sweet where you are. And if it's not, I hope it's at least cozy. All right, let me tab into edit mode. I'm just gonna select these top faces, Shift S, cursor to selected, do that, Shift A. I'm gonna add a cylinder. I'm gonna tab into edit mode, scale it all the way down. Scale it. I don't like when it does that weird flip because I feel like it does something to the normal. So let me just do that again. I feel like I mess it up when it flips completely like that 360. I have no proof, I just assume. Scale. And we're just gonna get a nice little detail. So let me grab on the Z. It's right on top of our little bell here. And both edges are beveled, so I'm gonna face select. Do the bottom face first. Okay. Oh no. All right. And then let's Control B. And I'm gonna tab out. I'm gonna Shift D. Grab on the Z, tab, select all, scale. I'm just gonna save myself some time, honestly. Just duplicate, resize. It just makes for a faster render. Okay, let's get this little guy going. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna Shift D, make this a new mesh selection. It's 22. Let me select 22, tab in, and I'm gonna E on the Z, like that, and then I'm gonna Alt E on normals. Just kidding, I'm gonna Alt S. Just gonna S, period S. Okay. And then I'm gonna E. And then I'm gonna inset. And then I'm gonna E. And I'm gonna scale. And I'm gonna Control B. Let's make sure that's good. That's good. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select this little guy and I'm gonna E. It's gonna be a little detail. Like that. We'll shade smooth. I'm gonna undo the shade smooth and I'm gonna subdivide it actually. So let me add a subdivision modifier. Yeah, I want to clean that up a bit. Beautiful. I think that's great. Here's what we're gonna do though. I'm gonna tab in, select all. I'm gonna scale the whole thing. I'm gonna scale it on the X. Yes, we want it a little skinnier. And then scale on the Z just a bit. And make it a little skinnier. I like that. It looks like a little house. I can't make it that skinny though, so let me scale on the X just a little bit more. And then I can grab on this, scale on the Z to make it taller. Now leave it there. All right, I think that looks so good. Now let's mirror her with that. Just, okay, great. We gotta mirror these, that's why. Let's get everything where it needs to be. Mirror. That's good. How's that? I'm so very proud of this. So very proud of this. So very proud. Okay. Next step, where we at? So we got this good. Now we need this part and this part. How are we looking on time? All right, we're at 2 hours. Not terrible, you know. And we only had to restart one time. So we love that. We love that for us. I gotta add some more detail here. It's way too plain. It's okay though. We're getting there. All right, let's get the second little bit going. So I'm gonna tab into edit mode. I'm gonna select these bottom faces, cursor to selected, tab out, shift A. Then we get another cylinder. Tab into edit mode, scale down, grab on the Z, scale her down even more, grab on the zoom, step. Let's fix this here, make sure we got a good little side view. Okay. Let me grab on the X a little. Maybe not. Look at it this way. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do with this, it feels way too chunky. Way too chunky. So, okay, here's what I'm gonna do to make this one. I'm gonna put a loop cut here. Moved it a little, put it there. And then I'm gonna go into proportional editing. I'm gonna scale. And I just wanna give it a little bit of like a, whatever that is, you know? And that's just gonna give it some, I'm gonna select the whole thing and I'm gonna scale on the Z. Okay. And I think that gives it some fun dimension right there, like that. I'll subdivide it also to just have it look a little bit better. And put it right on the edge right there. Yeah, like that. Okay. And I think I can scale it on the Z a little bit more, honestly. And we just want it just like that. And then I'm gonna take this face here. Let me scale. Just kidding, let me get out of proportional editing first. And let me see. I might need to duplicate this one. Let me see. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna shift D. So I just want to add a little bit of a little bit more detail. Okay, so selection, tab out of edit mode. Let's go to this one, tab back in, select all, and I'm gonna scale it like that. Grab on the Z just a little so it's not clipping, and then I'm gonna E. It's already on the Z, like that. And then let me select this top. Let me go to 2. No, we'll keep it edge select. I'm gonna do this one here. I'm gonna do the tiniest of bevels, the tiniest. And I'm glad I zoomed in this close because it's not touching. So let's bring it up. Okay, there we go. That's all I'm looking for right there. Let's back up a little. That's good. And then I'm gonna tab back into edit mode, grab this bottom face, and I'm gonna E on the Z just a little. You know what? I'm gonna inset this a little bit. Just maybe we'll do that. And then I'm gonna E on the Z. And that's gonna be the part that holds the phone. We come out and see how far it is. That's good. And then I'm gonna control B. Nice little bevel. All right. That looks good. Not bad. Not bad for somebody who's never made a rotary phone in 3D. Just want to make sure I get all the pieces mirrored. Okay. That's great. That's great. Okay. Here's where we're at with it. I'm really, really pleased with this. The same as last week, I did a part 1 and part 2 because I do need to walk the pup. She's been kind of looking at me with puppy dog eyes. So I think, let's see where we are with time, my friends. All right, so we're just about 2 hours. So I'll go for about 30 more minutes. We'll try to get the top part done, and then I'll come back with a part 2, and we'll do the coil part of the phone. We'll do where the numbers go, and then we'll do this part. We'll do the phone cord and adding any more details, and then maybe we'll do shading in a part 2. You can come back on, but let's get this part done at least so we can leave here satisfied, you know. All right, so getting back into it, I want to add more detail. That is driving me. Let me tell you what, we should have went with this. This is kind of cute. That's a cute vibe. We might change it up. Okay, so let's do this little bell shape situation. So I'm gonna shift A. I'm feeling like a cube. Tab into edit mode, scale it down. And I feel like a subdivision is what's gonna give us what we're looking for. So I'm gonna do one here, so that it holds its form. And I'm gonna subdivide, and we're gonna go up to 2 for now. And I'm gonna select all. I'm gonna scale on the Z. grab on the Z. Let's get that down to right there. Okay, let me do this better this way. Okay. All right, scale on the X. So we're gonna widen it out a bit. And then for the bell, it's like a bell shape. So let me do the top faces up here. And I want to scale this just a bit like that. And now we're going to add some more loop cuts. So loop cut here, loop cut here. And then let me see if I face select this. I'm gonna see something. Maybe I need to pick this. I want to really exaggerate it like that. And then I'm going to face select that and grab on the Y. I can't remember, are there like holes? There's little holes in this, obviously, because that's where you're listening, and then this one's where you're talking. So maybe we'll put like tiny little holes in there, but I kind of like this because I really want this part to be exaggerated. So let me add another subdivision. I think that's cute for a shape. Yeah, I want that. Let me shade smooth and see. It's not really doing anything, but okay. I like that, and then we'll add some detail. So let me see if I probably be, I gotta add the subdivision, so let me do it. Let me just make sure the shape is exactly what I'm looking for. I think yes. Is this bevel too much? No, it's not. It's not too much. It's perfect. Because what are these doing? Yeah, like this one's crazy. That's everywhere, you know? So we get to do what we want. Okay. So keeping on brand, but let me see what the other phone, that's not even realistic. This must be AI, because that's not going to reach around to your mouth. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I mean, I guess this one too, right? I don't know. I've always seen them with this thing. So anyway, let's just add a little detail. So I'm gonna apply the subdivision, and what we're gonna do, we're in face select mode. I'm gonna select, oh baby, okay, I'm gonna control plus, we'll just do that, Shift D, P, selection, that is, where are we at with that one? It's cube 6. So I'm going to select cube 6, tab back in, select all, scale. And then I'm going to Alt E along normals, and we're going to go inward. And just go right inside like that, and that's some detail. We'll make it cute. Great. So that's that piece. Does it need to be longer? No, I think it's okay. I think it's good. Yeah, I think that's solid. And then I'm going to actually Shift D, grab this on the X. Grab on the Z. Let me grab on the X a little bit more. Tab into edit mode, select all, scale on the X. Now we'll scale the whole thing down. Scale on the Z, make it tall. And let me scale it on the Z a little bit more. I'm gonna scale her down a little bit more. All right, how's that? There we go. Not too tall. Let me tap it. It's a little too tall. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, let's do this part. This is giving like a UV sphere, so let's do that. What's going on here? Let's get that fixed up. All right, let's get this and this done, and then we are going to call her daddy. And by call her daddy, I mean take a tiny little break, and I'll be back for part 2. I'm really feeling it. I'm in the groove. Just finished my coffee. Really cold. All right. So I'm gonna tab into edit mode, shift. What's going on here? Oh, because it's okay, because it's mirrored, so we can apply this mirror. This is fine. All right, let me tab into edit mode, select you, cursor to selected, tab out, shift A. This time I'm gonna do a UV sphere. We'll leave it at 32. I'm gonna tab into edit mode. I'm gonna scale her down a bunch for now. Grab on the Z. Like to select all of you as tribute. X, delete the faces. Oop, undo. Got a wireframe, yeah. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do edge select. Select that. All right. I think we'll go to about here. Get rid of these vertices, and then I'm going to go into we're gonna go into proportional editing. And I'm going to scale on the Z. Pull it up like a bell. right, and then I'm gonna edge select this and then grab until we have like a bell shape. Grab on the Z. I'm gonna do like that, I think. And I'm gonna do that, and I think I want to shift D, P selection, see where that brings us. Tab out of edit mode. I'm gonna select this one, select all. I'm gonna scale. Let's get out of that. Tab in, Alt E along normals. We'll go inward. I think that's really pretty. And then I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna select this edge. I'm gonna get out of proportional editing, and I'm gonna just pull this out like that, and I think that looks really good. And then I can actually go in here, tab, I'll select this edge, and then I'll just give it like the tiniest of bevels, kind of like that. Maybe just one. Yeah. It's gonna be so pretty once we add like the gold details. That's gonna be so good. And you know what, while we're here, I'm gonna apply this one, this mirror modifier, so that I can shift D and grab on the X. And then let me tab into edit mode here. I'm gonna go into X-ray mode. I'm gonna select L, X, and just get rid of that one. Okay. Is there a, oh, the face. We gotta fill the face, okay. Let me do that. Let me fill that. And that's just gonna be this part where the phone string comes out, so I just want to make sure that that's in there. Okay, now what's this got going on? I'm gonna shift D and use this here. So let's grab on the Z and pull that down to about there. Is that good? Yeah. And then I'm gonna tab in, tab. We're already in the face select, so I'm gonna inset just a little. And E on the Z. Just enough. And then I'm gonna scale just a bit, and then E on the Z again, just to give it a little bit more detail. Okay. We might want to do a tiny little one. Okay, something like that. Oh, let's fill this. Let's fill that. Okay. thinking for this, I'm going to tab here, cursor to selected, tab out. I'm going to shift A. I think what I'm going to use for the phone is a circle. I'm going to scale it down a bunch so that it's there. And then I'll grab on the Z just a little so that we're not super overlapping. Like that. Alright, I'm going to tab into edit mode. I'm trying to think what I want to do here. I think I'm gonna, let me see what happens. Alright, we're gonna leave it like that. I'm just gonna tab. I'm gonna just make it a mesh. We're just gonna make it a mesh. Tab into edit mode. Select all fill. Let me E on the Z. It's just a cylinder at this point. I was trying to think what would be the best way to handle this, but we'll get it working. First of all, let's see, how far down do we have to go? Wow, how big does this thing have to be? You know what I'm gonna do? I have the perfect idea. Let's get out of here. I'm gonna get out of here. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do instead. I'm gonna shift A. I'm gonna use mesh, and we're gonna do a single vert. We're in edit mode. I'm gonna E on the Z. Gotta tap one first. E on the Z. All the way down. This is gonna be so big. This is really stressing me out. Anyway, let's just try that. And then I'm gonna E on the X. E on the Z. Let's just see what it gives. E on the X. E on the Z. And then E on the Z. Alright, we're doing that. I'm gonna tab out. This is just, we're gonna see. And then I'm gonna use the screw. Kind of. Now, it's not quite what we want, but it's close. So let's get back in here. I'm gonna undo this one here. Okay, so we're gonna E on the Z. Let me get a better. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna E on the Z. And now I'm just gonna go for it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta trust my instincts here. Just gotta do what I gotta do. Gotta go down. Because we can adjust this, like, when the time comes. I'm kind of just winging it. I don't know what it's gonna look like. Kind of just going with it. All right, let's see what that looks like. Ah, not quite. I mean, but kinda. Okay, we can still make this work. Now, what happens if I rotate this? Okay, that's not what we want. Now, what happens if I rotate the whole thing? No. Okay, what happens if I grab... Okay, that's gonna make that wider. I want it to go this way. Because I feel like this is our best way of getting it how we want it. So what if I just do this? All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get rid of this one and I'm gonna try again. But this time, we're gonna get it. We just gotta figure it out. Okay. I'm gonna just E. Do like this. E a little bit more. E. E. E down. E over. E up. All right, let's just see what that turns into if we screw this. No. Let me tab back in. Because I want it to like... This also might be way more trouble than it's worth, and we could just use proportional editing. But I just want to see if I can do it. Why isn't this working? What's going on? Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. What more do I want here? Let me E. Maybe let's do this. Okay, let me E up a little. I'm gonna come all the way up. And then E over. And E down. And then E. We'll do like this. Like this. Like this. And then like this. Alright, I just want to see if this will work. Kinda. Because it's screwing at 360 but the wrong way. Let's see what it looks like. Kinda. Alright, we're gonna X this. And we're gonna just go back to what we know. So I'm gonna Shift A, cube, tab, scale it down. Because I'll be there all day trying to get that one to work. Okay. Now, scale on the Z, grab on this. Gotta add some subdivisions, so do that. I'm gonna grab this on the Z. Maybe here, then select the face. Do this. Let's E. I just don't trust it when it picks the axis for me. We'll do that. And what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna see if I can use loop tool to make that up. It's not gonna work. Okay. We'll get there. Let me tab out, and now I'm going to add a subdivision. Let's tab out. Now can I use it? It's not quite giving what it needs to give, but it's okay. Now, let me see. I might need, it's just too sharp. This is gonna take a lot of playing with. But I might need to just leave it right here and then add this subdivision. Let's just see. Let me shade smooth, yeah. And I'm just gonna apply it. We can always redo it if we need to, but we're here now. All right, so turning proportional editing on. I need to grab some things. Okay, this is gonna be quite tricky. Isolation mode. Just gonna click this. Oh gosh, okay. All right, let's see what we can do here. Let me scale this down. I am not happy with this. This is gonna be way more work than it needs to be. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. Let me think. Let me think. I think I have to use a circle like I did before. I might have to use a circle. So let me shift A, mesh, circle. Tab, scale. I think this is my best option. And I won't be defeated, is what I'm saying. All right, so I'm gonna E on the Z. We're gonna come out. And we're gonna leave that right there like that. Then we're gonna E again. Select, I think, this edge, and I'm gonna rotate. I don't love the rotate. I don't love the rotate. Let me just see. You know what? An arc. There's a shortcut. I wish I could remember. Let me E on the Z. There is a shortcut that, like, let me think. Because it'll give me like a curve that I'm looking for. I also can like subdivide. This is really making me sad. Because that's gonna be... You know, look at that. That looks awful. That looks awful. That's not what we want. Let me see what it looks like. That looks so bad. But hold on. Let me not be ridiculous. We can get there. Hold on. We can get there. Let me maybe turn off proportional editing. Maybe that's what's taking me out. I'm just gonna do this. Because at least we can get the basic shape and then we can play with it. But it's like, oh God, that looks crazy. Look at that. That looks awful, doesn't it? Oh no. Not going well. Not what I had in mind. What can I do? There's a way. I'm seeing it in my head. It's just not translating. And I can't leave until this is done. I cannot. I feel like we're getting there, but okay, hold on. Let me make myself feel better. Like this. Because it's like, there it is. There it is. Oh my gosh. I think we're on to it. It's just not quite. I'm going to get out of here. Hold on. It's got to go. It's just, that's not it. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm thinking also I could do like, oh, okay. I think I know what I could do. I think I got it. Okay. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cylinder, tab. Oh, I hope this works. Okay, I'm going to cylinder. I think I figured it out. My brain just like, oh my gosh. So embarrassing. Okay, let's just scale this down. I think I know what I have to do. I think I know. All right, cylinder. Let's scale on the Z. All right, boom, there's that. Tab out, I'm gonna shift D. Grab on the Z. Oh, I think I got it. Rotate on the Y. Grab on the X. Okay, grab on the Z. I think I know what we have to do. Okay, and then I have to select both of these. I think I have to Control J first. Tab into edit mode. I swear if this works, I'm gonna scream. This is so funny. And then I think you go up to mesh. No, maybe, wait, let's see, face. Come on. Don't do me. Edge, bridge. Okay, maybe not that one. So bridge, edge. Oh, you see? This is what I was looking for. And then we could just add the number. Oh, you see that? You see that? That's what we were looking for. Oh my gosh, I could cry. I remembered. All right, I'm gonna not do that just yet though, because it's giving like weird geometry. So I'm gonna select L and then let me just grab this down. So it just gives us more space. Let me grab on the X. Oh my gosh. All of that. This is exactly what my mind was playing in my mind, but I could not figure it out. Okay, bridge, edge, loops. You see that? That's what we're looking for right there. And then you just increase that. And then hold on. Why are we clipping? How can I'll take a clip at this point, to be honest. No, we don't want any kind of twist. Because what is it? Do I need more space? Pull it down even more? I'll pull it down. What does that look like though? Yeah, it's all clipping and stuff. Okay, so let me undo. Wow, I'm so happy about this. Let me grab on the X. Let me just pull it out a bunch, and then I can deal with what I need to deal with. So let me grab on the X and pull it. Whatever, we'll move it and do what we need to do, but select this, edges, bridge edge loop, beautiful. I think it's gonna keep doing that, and I don't know why. Let's see, change it, sphere, smooth, that doesn't change anything. To be honest, beggars can't be choosers at this point. So I'm gonna be fine with that, if I'm being real. Because okay. Edge, bridge edge loops. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna go 6. And I'm gonna leave it right there. I think that is the best we're gonna get. Tab out. Shade smooth. Ooh, baby. Well, we'll just subdivide it, but I think, ooh, that's kind of that, but also, you know what? I have to undo that. Let me undo it completely because select L. Let me grab on the Z. This has to be much bigger. It literally is going to like right there, so if I'm being real about this, I need to honor that. So I'm gonna just pull it down on the Z a ton. And then I'm gonna select you, edge, let's get up nice and close, edge, bridge edge loops. A little crooked though. That's what's really got me going. That's what's really got me going. It's fine. We're gonna play around with it anyway. Bridge edge. Oh, that 5-0. And then boom, boom, boom. Can we rotate? I don't know why that's weird. But anywho. What is that all about? Anyway. Alright, we got the gist. We got the general situation. Scaling is kind of throwing me off, to be honest. But the general idea is there. So let me go here and we scale you out a bit. think for this part we'll use proportional editing because, I don't know, I guess it's kind of okay to kind of rock out like this. This is so funny. It's kind of that. It's kind of that. Well, we're gonna have to work on it a little bit more. That is so funny. That's the one piece that just is not quite giving what needs to be gave, but I'm actually really pleased so far. I definitely want to jump back on live shortly and finish this up because this is just going to take a little bit more finessing, but I love it. I love the way it looks. I think it's been fabulous. So I'm going to leave this one here. If you haven't already, please do like and subscribe. We hit a milestone today, 250. I am so excited and proud and pumped about it. So we're gonna keep this train rolling. I think I'm gonna jump back on around 4:30, so be looking out for me there. I'm gonna drop in, I'll set up a new link so you'll know the exact time. I'm gonna go take my pup for a walk, get a little lunch. The avocado toast is kind of wearing off already. Maybe make another cup of coffee, and I'll be back to finesse this and tweak it and make it absolutely perfect. So with that, thank you all for joining me, everybody that jumped in on the live today. It's so much fun. Hope the music was okay, hope the volume was okay, and if you can't make it back in for my next live, that's okay. It'll be up there for the replay crew. Thank you guys again so much for all of my subscribers. You have no idea how much it means to me. Major movement on the channel, so I'm very happy for that. So anyway, I'll see you all back here around 4:30, and don't forget, if you find something that sends you out, brings you calm, make space for it. It's so important. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye everybody.